Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching the channel. You guys have done a great job. The channel is growing at a very fast rate, and your comments, I read each and every one of them. I try to reply as much as possible, but thank you for the positive feedback, and thank you for the advice that you have been giving me and correcting me wherever I've gone wrong here and there. Today I would like to talk about Bobi Wine's visit in Kisoro district, where he held a rally that was really successful, and the turn-up was too big despite the intimidation by the RDC. And RDC in Uganda is the residence district commissioner. Is a representative of the president in a particular district, whereas that position is not constitutional, but it's one of the mechanisms that the president uses to reward his royal servants and people who do his bidding, thus creating a patronage network. The district of Kisoro has over 400,000 people, which is really a very big population. Now, Bobi Wine's campaign, or Bobi Wine's rally that he did over there, for me, when I looked at it, it was really interesting, and how successful it was, given the political dynamics that take place in this area. For example, for those of you who do not know, Kisoro is where the former IGP comes from, known as General Kale Kayihura Kalyecheze. Now, General Kale Kayihura, I think it was last year, the US, of course, put sanctions on him, the Magnitsky sanctions, and the FFC financial restrictions as well. So it means he cannot travel out of the country to go to different parts of the world, like in America, Europe, and all this kind of thing. Now, to most of the Ugandans, when we looked at this, we saw that, of course, Kayihura was used by the government of Uganda. Sorry, he was used by Museveni and definitely thrown under the bus afterwards. And even when the sanctions came into effect, the president, of course, never stood on Kayihura's side. But what is interesting is to see the former IGP's district actually having a very big turnout of people who actually wanted to come and see Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, or President Bobi Wine, because for those of you who know Kayihura's politics, he's one of the people who fought so much to demobilize the opposition and making sure that Museveni always won in his district, and such a turn-up wouldn't have happened in Kisoro if at all Kayihura was still the IGP, meaning that Kayihura would really have helped Museveni to make sure such a thing could not have happened. That is, if at all Museveni, or if at all Kayihura was still in the good books of Museveni. But after all what Kayihura did for Museveni for over 10 years, Museveni paid him by saying that he had destabilized the police and that he was a binweevil that was trying to spoil the police. The same statements were made against Sabiti Muzeyi, who apparently, as we speak, he's in the queue among the people who are going to be sanctioned as well, who are going to be sanctioned by the United States of America. But while Bobi Wine was speaking at this at the rally, or amongst the crowds of the people of Kisoro, he mentioned the issue of Kale Kayihura and also mentioned the issue of his father, and those are the two particular points that I would like to stick on, and I would like to emphasize on, because in Kisoro, Kayihura was seen as a hero, given the legacy of his father, the late John Muhima Kamuluyange Kalyekezi, who is the father of General Kale Kayihura, as well as General Kale Kayihura himself being an IGP. So that is why he was a very popular person there, and he's one of the most he was one of the most popular people there. Now, two things that I noticed in this on this day. Number one, if Kayihura was still at good terms with Museveni, definitely this would not have happened. Definitely Museveni would have told him to demobilize those people and not to come out and turn up in big numbers. We saw people who were barred from accessing the venue where the rally was taking place, but people had to use alternative routes and find ways to come and listen to what Bobi Wine had to tell them. People are really interested in what Bobi Wine has to say and what he's going to do for them. If at all they were not interested and they are just told, yo, you go back to your home, then they wouldn't have bothered to cross rivers and cross valleys and beat police barricades and things of that sort to come and listen to Bobi Wine. If actually Bobi Wine, if what he was saying was trash, we have seen images of people climbing trees to listen. We have seen images of people swimming, and I'm not making this up, like the images you see right now on the screen. We have seen people swimming in swamps, in rivers to come and see Bobi Wine. We have seen people running to come and see Bobi Wine. Now I will show you a small video where people were actually running, and this is in General Kale Kaihura's district, the former IGP. People running to come and see what Bobi Wine, an opposition candidate, wants to tell the people of Kisoro and wants to tell the world. And you could never fathom that this would ever happen in General Kale Kaihura's district. Let us look at these images and then we come back. So as you have seen, those are people running to come and see Bobi Wine in General Kale Kaihura's district. What a statement. What a statement. What a statement. Who thought that such a thing would have happened? And let me tell you one thing. What Museveni has done today, of course, he's going to reconsider his options. He's going to reconsider his options in January 14th, before January 14th, to see whether he continues with the election or not. Because he also is also holding on to that card, like Bobi Wine noted while he was in I think Chigezi region, trying to address the people of Chigezi. Now, Bobi Wine promised something that is near and dear to the hearts of the people of Kisoro. Now, for the people of Kisoro, whenever you mention John Muhima Kaliechezi, the father of the former IGP Kale Kaihura, it is someone that they held in high respect and high regard, and he was a great statesman, not only, by the way, to the people of Kisoro, but also to our country, Uganda, because he's one of the people who rose to fight against independence. Sorry, to fight for the Ugandan independence and chase away the colonialists who were the British at the time. For those of you who don't know about John Kale, the former IGP's father, a few bits and pieces about him is that he's one of the people who fought for the independence of Uganda, and unfortunately he died on the 17th of August 1960 in Kiev, Ukraine, while he was heading to Moscow during that time. For those of you who don't know much about about John Kale, or the former IGP's father, he was one of the people who actually fought for the independence of Uganda. You know, Uganda got independence on 9th October 1962, but unfortunately he would not live to see the independence of our beloved country, because he died on the 17th of August 1960 in Kiev, Ukraine, while on his way to Moscow. For those of you who don't know a lot about General Kale Kaihura's father, he was one of the people who fought for the independence of Uganda. Unfortunately, he did not live to see the fruits of his fight because he died in a plane crash on the 17th of August 1960 in Kiev, Ukraine, while he was on his way to Moscow, by then the Soviet Union. John Kalechezi, the father to the former IGP, was actually based in Cairo, where he served as the foreign secretary of the Uganda National Congress, one of the parties that fought for Uganda's independence, and he was one of the permanent secretaries of the Afro-Asian People's Solidarity. So while he was in Egypt, it is said that John Kale was given an opportunity amongst people like the Senyongas to broadcast in Uganda from Radio Cairo to the people of Katwe, because Katwe was one of the hotspots where people were organizing, anti-colonial anti-colonial message and telling people to fight for independence and demand for the independence of Uganda. He was also one of the people that petitioned the United Nations demanding for the independence of Uganda, only to be blocked. But he later joined a Cameroonian delegation that was demanding the country's independence at the time. John Kale is renowned to have been a son of a parish chief, and he was very eloquent, highly educated, whereby he went to St. Mary's College, Chisubi, and then later went to Makerere University to do veterinary medicine. But due to his anti-colonial movement links, he was actually expelled from Makerere University. So when you look at him, he was a true patriot and he was a Pan-Africanist in that sense. So it was upon that background that, though very little is known about him, but he did a lot of writings, but most of his work was actually lost. But for when you go back to the people of Kisoro, they speak highly of John Kale, and they think, they look at Kale Kaihura, the former IGP, in the image of John Kale. Now, we all understand that the government had promised the people of Kisoro to build for them an institute, the John Kale Institute of Science and Technology, I think, if I've got that one right. Now, one of the things that Bobi Wine promised to these people, because this is one of the monuments that these people, because they want to remember John Kale and what it means to them. So John Kale Institute of Science and Technology, or the university that the government promised, we all know, because it just didn't come out of the blue that, oh, I'm going to build a university. No, this is what the people wanted. The people of Kisoro wanted an educational institute in the name of John Kale Institute, and then they proposed it to the government, and then the president said, oh yeah, I will build for you a university, or I will build for you a college in Kisoro as a monument to remember John Kale and his contribution to the fight against the colonialists. Well, as we all know, Museveni's promises, they are always loaded on a tortoise. And then when he says that he's going to make for you, he's going to do something for you in 2017, you just know that that will be fulfilled in the next 35 years. And we all know Museveni doesn't have another 35 years to live. That is, if he even has another 2 months to be in power. For the promises that he's fulfilling now, he promised before he came in power. And he only fulfills promises when an election is coming about. So the people of Kisoro, because Museveni lied to them in 2017, he even came and laid the foundation stone. After laying the stone, what happened? He threw Kaihura under the bus, and they held him incommunicado, and he was interrogated and humiliated in one way or the other. And from that point on, Kaihura faced so many more challenges, like the Magnitsky Act and so on and so forth. So the people of Kisoro really betrayed by this government. So when Bobi Wine was there, he promised the people of Kisoro that one of the first things that he's going to do is actually to start the immediate construction of the John Kale Institute of Technology or Science, Technology and Science. And now it is also known that the reason as to why Museveni hasn't fulfilled the promise of the John Kale Institute, or this university that means a lot to the people of Kisoro, is because that it has the name John Kale, and Museveni and the former IGP really fell out bitterly, and he doesn't want anything to deal with John Kale. So it is alleged that he promised that he would build the university only if they take the name of the name or the initials JK, and then he would build it. And then with what purpose would it serve? If the people of Kisoro want to remember their hero, or if the people of Kisoro want to remember John Kale as a hero, and you have to build a university in his name, then why take the name off? Do you want to name it Museveni University or what? You give them the university. Anyway, he doesn't have enough time to do that. So Bobi Wine promised that he is going to build the John Kale Institute, or the John Kale University. So the people of Kisoro, when they heard that, of course, they rose up in applause and they were very, very happy. I would like to ask people, if at all you say that, okay, Bobi Wine is promising this and that and this and that, okay, would you rather take Bobi Wine's promise, or would you rather take Museveni's promise? Of the two, whom would you sit back there and say, okay, this one I trust, this one I don't trust? No, you tell me. Now, so if you have the answer to yourself, I think you can understand that the people of Kisoro, that is why they came in big numbers to see Honorable Kyagulanyi. Not only did they come in big numbers to see Honorable Kyagulanyi, but of course the First Lady had accompanied Mr. Bobi Wine, and a lady that needs no introduction, Babi Itungo. Very, very humble lady, very calm, very respectable, and so on and so forth. You should understand that Uganda, almost 78% of the population are youths. So all youths are attracted to fellow youths. Okay, you get the point. So that is why you see that Babi has been very, very instrumental in traveling with Bobi Wine to western part of Uganda. What Bobi Wine's message to the people of western part of Uganda is trying to communicate and telling them, you see, I'm part of you. Babi is part. We are part of you, and you are part of us in one way or the other. I'll come and do a full episode about why Bobi Wine is traveling with Babi at this particular moment. It might look to be like, yeah, it is self-explanatory, but of course, if you're trying to analyze politics, not everything seems the way it looks. Like whatever you see doesn't mean that that's what it means. Anyway, so going back to this to Kisoro. It was very fascinating to see that Kayihura really didn't bother or didn't do anything for his former boss to make sure that he thwarts Bobi Wine's Larry in Kisoro. And I believe that he must have been laughing and happy wherever he was seated and looking at Museveni, and he's like, okay, yeah, I think you have seen the turn up, and trust me, these people will all vote. And they will vote for Kyagulanyi for what you did to me and for what you did to my father. I think that is the powerful message. You might not see Kayihura coming out publicly to endorse Bobi Wine, but I don't want to say that Kayihura is working with Bobi Wine. No, I don't have evidence to that. I don't have evidence to that effect. But as a person, I would like to think that also Kayihura, I don't think that he is actually working in the interest of Museveni. Because if he was helping out Museveni, what happened in Kisoro today wouldn't have happened. And that is the good news that I actually have for you today. More people are doing such kind of things. So what the government has resorted to, as we see, is now trying to buy off people who have already, joined. They are trying to buy off our coordinators and some of our contestants and so on and so forth. So the heat is out there that if you are NUP and you have the card, they will pay you and give you a few peanuts, and then you go away. So that is what is happening. But they are failing to address the underlying problems of Ugandans and the underlying problems of people, and they are only resorting to using taxpayers' money to buy off people, which is really obnoxious and very crazy from the government and its strategy on how. Because if the government has really done good, why would it buy off people to come and support it? On the other hand, people are just coming and they are breaking barriers. People are trying to maneuver, and they are barred from coming to see Honorable Kyagulanyi, coming to see Bobi Wine. They are crossing rivers, they are swimming across swamps, they are jumping fences, they are being tear gassed, fighting to come and see him. But on the other hand, people in the NRM are being bought to come and join their party. But Honorable Bobi Wine has not bought anyone. He has not promised anyone to give him a position in his government. And that is why I think it is actually becoming very attractive, even for the people in the NRM and people who are undecided, to start supporting Honorable Kyagulanyi or Bobi Wine, as most of you know him around the world. So that is the good news, and that is one of the things that I wanted to talk about in this video, on how Bobi Wine managed to capture and managed to succeed on his rally in Kayihura's district, or the former IGP's district. Because if you are an IGP in Museveni's government, they expect you, of course, in your hometown or in your home area to mobilize and make sure that people do not actually turn up on such an event. But this was really a hat-trick, or sorry, not a hat-trick, but this Bobi Wine really hit it home. It was a home run for Honorable Kyagulanyi for what he did in Kisoro. And let me tell you, things are going to change. That is a very powerful message, a very powerful indicator to Museveni that he has played people against each other. He has fooled people all the time, he has fooled people most of the time, but like they say, you cannot fool people all the time. Eventually, it has caught up with him, and now he's running helter-skelter, not knowing what to do. All right, thank you very much. Subscribe to the channel. We shall be coming back here for more content and more videos. Endeavor to watch our previous videos and analyses we have done on different topics. If you have any comment, leave it if you have any suggestions or corrections or anything, leave it in the comment down below, and I will be able to read through and address most of the things. I read each and every comment, but at times I might not be able to reply most of them, but I'll try as much as I can. Thank you very much for the support. Subscribe, share the video, and share the content to whoever you can. Bye bye.